Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Sure.
This time, we're going to be tackling something a lot of you have requested, and that's spoiler-free book reviews.
Hmm.
How can we talk about the books we love
Right.
without, ruining the experience for others?
Exactly.
And it turns out you're not alone in this,
Yeah.
because our research found that 62%, that's right, 62%
Wow.
of book readers actually struggle to find reviews
Right.
that don't give everything away.
Yeah.
So let's explore some creative techniques for how we can share our thoughts without spoiling the fun.
I think what's so fascinating about this is that it really forces us to think about why certain elements of a story actually resonate with us.
Mm,
It's not just about listing the plot points.
right.
It's about trying to understand how the author crafted those moments to evoke certain emotions or to explore deeper themes.
So it's about going beyond the what happened
Right.
and getting to the why it matters.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's where the real magic of spoiler-free reviewing
Mm.
comes in.
Mm.
It's really about inviting readers to embark on their own journey of discovery.
I love that.
And you're also respecting the author's craft.
Right.
And you're enriching the reading experience for everyone.
I love that. Okay, so let's get into some specific strategies.
Okay.
One thing that our sources highlighted was the power of what they call thematic discussions.
Right.
And the idea is instead of getting bogged down in all the little details
Yeah.
of the plot,
Right.
we can actually explore the bigger ideas
Hmm.
the book is tackling.
Yeah. And I think discussing themes allows readers to connect with a book on a much more intellectual and emotional level.
Right.
Because instead of just knowing what happened, they can actually grapple with questions about, love, loss, redemption, whatever universal truths the author is exploring.
Right.
It's about sparking a deeper conversation.
Okay, so for instance, if I were reviewing The Road by Cormac McCarthy,
Oh, yeah.
which, for those who haven't read it,
Right.
it's a post-apocalyptic novel about a father and son's journey.
Right. Instead of revealing the ending or specific events, I could actually talk about themes of hope,
Yeah.
despair, and the enduring power of human connection
Mm-hmm.
in the face of hardship.
Precisely. And that gives potential readers a sense of the book's emotional depth and philosophical weight without spoiling any key plot points. It really invites them to ponder those themes for themselves as they experience the story firsthand.
Okay, I'm starting to see how powerful this can be. What are some other techniques that we can use to achieve this level of depth without giving anything away?
Well, building on that idea of connecting with readers on a deeper level, character analysis can be incredibly effective. And instead of just listing a character's actions,
Right.
we can analyze their motivations, their relationships, their strengths and weaknesses, and how they evolve throughout the story.
I'm realizing that's something I often miss in my own reviews.
Yeah.
I tend to focus on what the characters do,
Right.
not who they are. Yeah, it's a common tendency.
Mm.
But readers are drawn to characters they can relate to, characters who feel real and complex.
Mm.
By focusing on those internal aspects, you can create a compelling portrait of the characters without revealing their ultimate fate or the plot twists that shape their journey.
All right, let's try that.
Okay.
Let's say I'm reviewing Pride and Prejudice,
Oh, a classic.
a classic. For those who haven't read it, 19th century England.
Right.
Romantic novel where societal expectations and first impressions often clash with true love.
Yeah.
So instead of detailing all the romantic entanglements, I could focus on Elizabeth Bennet's independent spirit and sharp wit, and contrast it with Mr. Darcy's initial pride and aloofness.
That's a great example.
Hmm.
You're highlighting the key character dynamics that drive the story without giving away any spoilers.
Right.
You're inviting readers to imagine those personalities interacting,
Right.
sparking their curiosity about how those differences might clash,
Yeah.
or ultimately lead to understanding and connection.
This is really shifting my perspective on how to approach a review. Okay, what else can we add to our spoiler-free toolbox?
Well, another powerful technique that kind of complements character analysis is tapping into the emotional response. And instead of recounting plot points, we can describe how the book made us feel.
Oh,
Did it make you laugh, cry,
yeah.
question your own beliefs, or see the world in a new light?
This resonates with me because sometimes, honestly, the most memorable books are the ones that evoke strong emotions in us,
Right.
regardless of what actually happens in the plot.
Exactly. Sharing your genuine emotional response without revealing what triggered those feelings can be incredibly compelling for readers.
Right.
It creates a sense of shared experience,
Hmm.
and it invites them to imagine how they might react to the same story.
Okay, so for instance, let's say I'm reviewing Where the Crawdads Sing, which
Okay.
is a novel about a young girl's coming of age
Right.
in the marshes of North Carolina. Instead of summarizing the mystery and the trials she faces, I could talk about how the book made me feel a deep sense of loneliness
Mm.
and resilience,
Yeah.
reflecting on themes of isolation and prejudice
Yeah.
and finding your place in the world.
That's a fantastic example. You're highlighting the emotional core of the book without giving away any specifics,
Right.
encouraging readers to explore those themes and experience those emotions themselves.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Mm.
It's amazing how a well-crafted story can really make us feel so deeply.
Mm.
And speaking of connecting with other readers, there's another technique that I find really helpful, and it's what we call comparative analysis.
Mm.
So instead of just summarizing the plot,
Right.
you can draw parallels to other books or works of art
Okay.
that share similar themes or tones or even writing styles.
Oh, I love doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like saying if you enjoy the eerie atmosphere of Rebecca, you might also appreciate the gothic suspense of The Silent Patient.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're giving readers a reference point. Right.
That they might be familiar with.
Yeah. But the key here is to choose your comparisons carefully.
Hmm.
Think about the specific elements you want to highlight and select works that truly resonate with those aspects.
Okay.
So, for example, if you're reviewing a fantasy novel with a really complex magic system,
Right.
you might compare it to like Brandon Sanderson's intricate world building
Okay.
or like the lyrical prose of Patrick Rothfuss.
That makes sense. You wouldn't compare like a lighthearted romantic comedy
Right.
to a dark psychological thriller.
Definitely not. The goal is to guide readers towards books they'll genuinely enjoy based on their existing preferences. It's about creating a sense of familiarity and trust.
Okay, so we've talked about analyzing themes,
Right.
diving into character motivations, sharing our emotional responses,
Right.
drawing insightful comparisons.
Mm-hmm.
What other tricks do we have up our sleeves?
Sometimes just a single well-chosen quote can speak volumes about a book without revealing any crucial plot points.
Sharing a favorite quote with context can highlight the author's unique voice,
Right.
the book's overall tone,
Hmm.
or even hint at a theme without spoiling the story.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's like offering a little taste of the writing style before diving into the full meal.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, for example, if I were reviewing J.D. Salinger's The Catcher in the Rye,
Hmm.
I might share a quote like, "What really knocks me out is a book that, when you're all done reading it, you wish the author that wrote it was a terrific friend of yours and you could call him up on the phone whenever you felt like it."
Right.
And this captures Holden Caulfield's distinctive voice
Exactly.
and his yearning for connection without giving away any specifics of the plot.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
It gives readers a glimpse into the character's personality and the book's overall style without revealing any major plot points.
It's like a little sneak peek
Yeah,
into the author's mind.
exactly. And sometimes it's not just the words themselves, but the mood and atmosphere they evoke that can draw readers in.
Right.
So think about like the mood and atmosphere description.
Okay.
You can paint a really vivid picture of the setting or the tone
Mhm.
or the overall feeling of a book without giving away any spoilers.
Oh, I love this one. It's like setting the stage for the reader's imagination to come alive.
Imagine you're reviewing The Handmaid's Tale.
Hmm.
Margaret Atwood's dystopian novel about a society where women are stripped of their rights.
Right.
Instead of revealing the plot's twists and turns,
Hmm.
you could describe the oppressive atmosphere of Gilead,
Hmm.
the stark contrast between the commander's homes and the handmaid's quarters,
Hmm.
that feeling of constant surveillance.
Wow, that's powerful. Yeah, you're creating this visceral experience for the reader, drawing them into that world without spoiling any of the specific events.
Precisely. And you can use sensory details to make it even more immersive.
Right.
Talk about the sights, the sounds, the smells, tastes, textures that define the book's environment.
This is making me think about how I can elevate my own writing. Instead of just saying the book was creepy,
Right.
I could describe the feeling of walking through a dark, fog-filled forest. The rustling of leaves that sounds like whispers.
Right.
This unsettling sense that someone is watching you.
Exactly. The more specific and evocative your language is,
Hmm.
the more effectively you'll transport readers into the world of the book.
Okay, mood and atmosphere. I'm adding this to my list of must-try techniques. This is making spoiler-free reviewing feel less like a restriction and more like an opportunity to be creative.
I couldn't agree more. And sometimes the most impactful reviews come from a place of deep personal reflection.
Oh, you mean like sharing how the book connected with our own experiences?
Exactly. Highlighting personal reflections.
Okay.
It doesn't mean giving away plot details, but rather sharing how the book resonated with you on a deeper level.
Right.
Did it make you think differently about a certain issue?
Hmm.
Did it help you understand a particular character or experience?
Right.
Did it offer a new perspective on a familiar topic?
I think this can be especially powerful when we're talking about books that deal with like complex social issues
Absolutely.
or deeply personal themes.
For example, if you were reviewing The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas,
Mm.
a young adult novel about police brutality and racial injustice,
Right.
you could share how the book made you reflect on your own experiences with prejudice or privilege,
Right.
or how it opened your eyes to the realities of systemic racism.
Mm.
You're not summarizing the plot, but you're sharing the impact it had on your worldview.
That's a great example. It shows how a book can go beyond entertainment and actually become a catalyst for personal growth and social change.
And it encourages readers to engage with the book on a more meaningful level,
Hmm.
to consider its message and its relevance to their own lives.
This is reminding me of a time when, oh wait, I think we need to save that story for part 3.
Okay.
It ties in perfectly with another spoiler-free technique that I think our listeners will find incredibly valuable.
I'm intrigued.
All right, so we're back. Before the break, we were talking about the power of personal reflection in spoiler-free reviews.
Right.
And it reminded me of this time when I almost gave up on a book
Hmm.
because the first few chapters felt a little slow.
Right.
But then a friend just casually mentioned how the book made them question their own assumptions about family loyalty.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, wait, what? Really? Okay, I'm back in.
Right.
So instead of revealing any plot points,
Yeah.
my friend had piqued my curiosity
Hmm.
with this really thought-provoking question.
Yeah, it's like creating a curiosity hook.
Exactly. And that simple question made me want to keep reading to see how the story unfolded and how I might grapple with those same questions for myself.
Hmm.
And that brings us to our next technique, which is using these curiosity hooks. So instead of summarizing the plot,
What?
we can pose a question or a statement that hints at the book's central themes or conflicts without giving anything away.
That's a brilliant strategy, especially for genres like thrillers or mysteries, or even literary fiction, where intrigue and suspense are key elements.
Yeah.
Think about how book trailers often use this technique.
Hmm.
They give you glimpses of characters and settings, a snippet of dialogue that hints at conflict,
Right.
but they leave you wanting more.
Yeah.
They make you wonder what secrets this story holds.
It's like that age-old saying, tell me and I forget.
Right.
Teach me and I may remember. Involve me and I learn.
Mm-hmm.
And a curiosity hook really involves the reader from the get-go.
Yeah,
It draws them into the story's web
right.
without revealing the spider at the center.
Exactly. It transforms the review from like a passive summary into an active invitation to explore.
Okay, so let's say I'm reviewing The Silent Patient,
Okay.
a psychological thriller about a woman who has gone silent after a shocking tragedy.
Mm.
Instead of revealing the twists and turns, I could pose the question, can we ever truly know the secrets hidden beneath the surface of those we love?
Wow.
That question taps into the book's themes of trust, deception,
Right.
the complexities of human relationships,
Mhm.
without giving away any spoilers?
Yeah, that's a fantastic example. It immediately makes you want to delve into the story to uncover those hidden truths for yourself.
This is making me realize how much more engaging my reviews can be.
Right.
It's not just about avoiding spoilers, it's about using language that sparks curiosity, invites reflection, and ultimately enhances the reading experience for others.
You've hit the nail on the head. It's
Yeah.
about sharing our passion for books in a way that honors the author's craft,
Right.
respects the reader's journey, and fosters a sense of community among book lovers.
Okay, so to recap all the amazing strategies we've explored today,
So,
we've got thematic discussions, character analysis, emotional response, comparative analysis, favorite quotes with context, mood and atmosphere description, highlighting personal reflections, and of course those tantalizing curiosity hooks.
that's quite the toolkit.
It is.
And the beauty of it is that you can mix and match these techniques, adapting them to different genres, writing styles, and your own personal preferences.
It's like having a spice rack full of flavor.
Right.
We can choose the perfect combination to create a truly unique and enticing review.
And remember, the most important ingredient is your own genuine voice and passion for reading.
Right.
Let that shine through, and your enthusiasm will be contagious.
Well, that brings us to the end of our spoiler-free book reviewing deep dive.
Right.
We hope you found this exploration as insightful and inspiring as we have.
And remember, the next time you're eager to share your thoughts on a book, consider the power of these techniques. You can express your passion, connect with fellow readers, and honor the art of storytelling, all while preserving the magic of discovery.
So go forth and review with confidence,
Mm.
creativity, and a whole lot of heart. Happy reading.